everyone. So this video is to explain how to create your own quiz using Google Forms. So we go back to the Google Classroom we have done before. So search for your Google Classroom. We go to the Classroom app. You can create as much as you want. You can create as many classes as you want. So for our illustration, for our example, last video, we used Miss Marie's accounting class. So all you have to do is go to the classwork. All right. So under classwork here, you press create and then choose for this video, because our goal is for you to prepare a quiz. We always choose a quiz assignment. Now you will see this in your screen. Now the title is, I highly suggest that you start your title with a number so it guides you, because if you have too many classes, if it's just all titles, then sometimes you get to mix up some of them. So what I do with my classes, I label them, let's say, online task 1. But this is a quiz, so we might change it to online quiz 1. Let's say, because this is accounting class, we say chapter 1 revision or checkpoint. So that is the title. Now you are guided that this is online quiz 1. For instructions, you can put all the instructions that you want. So let's say instructions. This is a multiple choice quiz. A total of 20 marks is awarded. Sometimes it's good that you give them additional instructions below what you really want them to do. Let's say you are required to submit through email your rough workings or your calculations. Like, you can tell them that they have to take screenshots of their work and submit it through email. You can do something like that. Okay? Now, Google Forms or this Google Classroom will automatically give you a blank quiz, which is very good. So all you have to do is click that. And then here you have the Google Form. This Google Form, you actually have a lot of options. You can ask multiple choice questions. You can ask short answers. You can ask paragraph questions, or paragraph questions that requires answers in paragraph form. You can insert images. There's a lot of things you can do in a Google form. So first, let's say we title this. Don't forget that this is your online quiz 1, chapter 1, checkpoint. So in Cambridge syllabus, we use the word checkpoint every end of the chapter to assess what the students have learned. You can use other words that you want, that is depending on your syllabus. So let's say I'll just give you like 3 examples of the questions so you know how to do it. So first, let's use multiple choice. So here you have an untitled question. Just type the question. Let's say, what is an asset? Let's say that is your question. So options here will be all the definitions. So let's say what the business owns. Okay. Next, if you notice, every time you type another option, it keeps on adding up. So there's a bit of leeway here as to how many options you have or how many choices do you have for the multiple choice. Okay, how do we know it's multiple choice? Automatic, when you start the form, you can see here it's on multiple choice. Let's say the next one, what the business owes. Capital invested. I'm just making this up, okay? This is just an example. Let's say the next definition for your assets will be costs incurred by the business. All right. So these are your choices and it's multiple choice. Now you have the option here below to give the answer key. So automatic, when the quiz is done, you can the Google form itself will give or will calculate the scores for you. So let's say here I click the answer key and now I choose the correct answer. So let's say the correct answer is what the business owns. I have the freedom to give the total marks for this question. So let's say I only want to give it 1 mark. So I change it to 1. And then I click done. All right. So again, what did I do? I just first type the question and then I write all my options and then I click the answer key. I choose the best one and then change the points here and click done. Let's say I made a mistake with one of the options. What do I do? Very simple. Just press the X here, right? Um, okay. So I will just add this up. Costs incurred by the business. Now, you also have, as a teacher, you have the option to give it as a required question or not required. So the default is this question is not required. Obviously, we want it to be required. So switch the tab from left to right. You will see it's now colored, so that is required. Now, let's say you want to delete this question. So just press this trash bin to delete the question. Now, what if you want to make another multiple choice using the same options but with a different question? So, what do? I simply press this. It means duplicate. So, when I click that, it automatically duplicates the first question here. But obviously, I don't want to repeat the same question. So I might change from an asset. What is an asset? I'm going to change this as what is a liability. So now I know that the answer is not letter A now because this is the answer for the first question. So I'm going to click again, answer key, and change this to the correct answer. All right. So what the business owes. Now look here. There's a red star after the question that will give you a sign that the question is required. Okay. So far we have 2 questions. This is still 1 point. If you want to change it to 2 points, that's up to you. So we put it back to 1 mark, and then we're done. So now we have 2 questions. All right. Now I want to add another question. So what do I do? This here is your tool if you want to add anything in that quiz. So let's say I'm going to add this one. Now, do you still want it as a multiple choice? So obviously we already did 2 examples of multiple choice. Let's choose another one. Let's say you want only a short answer, like a short one. If you want them to explain something, then perhaps you can use paragraph. So it's a long text answer. If you see here, it states long answer text. Right. Now, What if you want them to watch a video, or you want to insert a what do you call this, a picture or a screenshot or a scanned copy of your textbook? So all you have to do is press this one. So if I press that, let's go back to that again. The question here, I press that small square beside the question, and then you can use different sources here. So let's use the internet. Let's say you want to search for a mountain, or since it's Mother's Day quote, right? So you will now see a lot of Mother's Day quote. Let's say this one. So you want to insert that. Now here, see, beautiful. That is why this is a very good way to create quizzes or tests. You can easily attach whatever it is from your drive or from the internet. And let's say your question is, explain the image below in 100 words, right? Please don't be confused. I know this is an accounting class, but I'm just giving you examples of how to do it. So let's say we're going to ask them about this image. Explain the image below in 100 words. So now the students, instead of using multiple choice, will now be able to answer in a long answer text. And obviously, for this part, it's really hard for you to make an answer key because it will be subjective. So you can leave it without answer key. All right. But then you can press the required button. So it's now required. And when you press the answer key, just change the points. Okay. Change the points that say, obviously, this is not going to be like 1 mark only. So let's say you make it 5 points, depending on what you want. All right. So now you have 5 points for this question, just explaining the image. Your total points now is 7. So it gives you a real time counting of the total points. So if in your mind you're only giving 20 marks or 20 points, then this will give you the idea that you still need to make around 13 marks question. All right, so that's it. We click done. So far we have 3 questions. What is an asset? What is a liability? All multiple choice questions. Now, let's say you change your mind. You don't want 100 words. You just want a short answer. It's still fine. Okay? You can still change your choices for how this is being answered. For this one, I choose paragraph. Next, again, we use the tool here. You can add another question. All right. The same case, if you want what other options that you want is fine. Let's say, what is this add video? Let's say before answering a question, you want them to watch a video about Mother's Day or about accounting. So here, you can either search here for videos about Mother's Day. So let's say, select video for Mother's Day. Click search. Another way is, okay, there's a lot of Mother's Day here, but you see, this will be too much information for you, like, because the topic you selected is very, very broad. So what you can do is use this one, the URL. So what you can do, you go to your the YouTube website, and then copy the link that you want and then paste it here. Okay, otherwise, if you use video search Mother's Day for kids, all right. So there's a lot here about Mother's Day. Let's say you want this one, um, Mother's Day kids song. I'm going to click that. See, the video is now here. So you can write, watch the video to answer the next five questions, right? So you use that. Now you are wondering, because here we left this one. What you can do is just simply click delete, right? That's not a problem really. So after this, watch the video to answer the next five questions. Then you click another button. Um, Hold on. So let's say, okay, okay. What I did was, the six lines here. I just drag them. So I long press this and put it back. If I want to swap the questions, now they're all swapped. Um, Here I want to delete this. Okay, so I have the first question, second question, third question. Watch the video in the next step, and then I add another question. All right. Here I can ask, what can you say about the video? So then if you see here automatically, you are given the option of paragraph because Google Forms has a way of reading your question and trying to give you the default one for that. So it says here paragraph, but you really don't want a lot of words from them, so you click short answer. Okay, I'll just go back quickly to what I did before. If you want to swap two questions, the six lines here, you can drag them nice and slow. Or this one going down. Sorry about that. I actually don't edit my videos. So whatever is here, whatever I've recorded, that's it. So be patient with me. This is taking a long time. Well, I don't want to erase this because at least you know that this happens all the time. Okay. So you can swap it by using this six dots on top. Putting it back again. All right. I just want to make clear of because I was swapping it earlier. So anyway, those are the types of questions you can prepare. If you see here, you can keep on creating questions as you want, but remember, we haven't finished this yet. Press required always, and then answer key. Let's say you want it like 4 marks. Okay, click done. So now in total, you have 11 marks. All right? So this quiz is now 11 marks. Now, if they all submitted to you, this will all go to the responses. And you have the option later to put it in a spreadsheet. Um, Here in the settings, by the way, we haven't made a title for our quiz, so we know that this form is named Online Quiz 1, Chapter Checkpoint, Chapter 1 Checkpoint. You can, when you click this automatically, whatever the title is, you can just copy that. So Online Quiz 1, Chapter 1 Checkpoint. Now, here, this is the settings. So you have here change the theme, preview of how it will look like, and then settings. So you click the settings. It will tell you here, collect email addresses. Do you really want to collect the email addresses of your students? Do you want them to limit to one response? Do you want them to edit after they submit? Obviously, no, because it's a quiz. So leave it like that. And see summary chart and text responses. Yeah. you can do that if you want. If you don't want, just leave them blank. Okay? For the quizzes, are you going to release grade? So remember, in the settings, there's general, okay? There's presentation. I really don't, to be honest, I really don't use this part of the settings. In the quizzes, this is what I really look at. Immediately, do you want to release the grade immediately after its submission? Well, to be honest, if you have questions that are requiring paragraph answers, so don't use that. You use later after manual review, because you have to you still have to grade those questions which are in essay. Okay? Unless it's multiple choice, then you can do the immediate after submission. If it's all MCQ or multiple choice questions, then there's no problem with that. But if you included short answers or paragraph type answers, then you have to click later after manual review. All right. So you save this. Now you're all done. If you notice, this is the beauty of using Google applications. All changes save in Drive. You don't have to like click save, save, save all the time. It automatically saves in your Drive. So, by the way, I just want to add one more option here. Okay. Um, I want to add one more option here. Let's say you want a survey. Rate your understanding of the topic. You really don't want this part of the grade, but you want to get feedback of how they answered the how they understood the chapter. If you notice, I told you earlier, Google has a way of like predicting what you really want. So once you state rate your understanding of the topic, it changes automatically to a choice where you have to rate from 1 to 5 if that's what you want. Okay, so linear grade. So you say automatic, it states 1. 1 is your lowest, or let's say I don't understand the chapter at all. Then excellent understanding. You don't have to make an answer key for this because this is just you getting feedback. Then you press again required. So if you press required, they cannot finish the whole quiz without doing this. All right. So I hope this video gives you somehow a very basic understanding of how to make an online quiz, which is simple at this as of this point. Now let's go back to our classwork. Notice that I don't close it, or even if I close this one, let's say I show you, I'm going to close it. All right. I put an X to this. It's not gone. Remember, it was saved to Drive. Now you press add and choose Google Drive. Then automatically from your drive, you will see that your quiz is saved. See, that's the beauty of Google Classroom. Now here you have your online quiz, chapter 1, checkpoint. And then points, let's say it's just 11 marks. Due date, it's up to you. If you want to remind them to like answer it at a specific date, okay. Let's say put a due date of, let's say it's tomorrow at 1 p.m. But you have to be careful of this, because what if you want them to answer at a specific point in time? You know, sometimes because this is all technology, they might cheat and everything like that. So you also have to figure out a way of how to give them this quiz, which is a one time deal, right? And that they all do it at the same time. So let's say you put a due date. If you don't want to put a due date, it's also fine. And then click assign. For rubric, you can actually use a rubric here or use a rubric. I will give that as an example in the next videos. But today, if you remembered, we already made an answer key for the multiple choice ones and the paragraph forms. I told you to just leave it without an answer key, just give the points to it, and then manually you mark them. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, hold on, we have to assign this. Click assign. All right. Once you assign it, when you click the assign, automatically it will state posted a new assignment, online quiz one. Okay, so students are able to see your quiz. And then this is a way to tell you if somebody turned in or not yet. And every student who has turned in, all their names will be here on the left side. And you can also grade them using this and give them feedback, give their grades back automatically online using this one. I'll try to explain that later on, but for this video, I hope you already know how to use Google Forms using your Google Classroom, create a Google form as a quiz to your students. Thank you.